Paradox-ish, very first episode. Take one, only take. We don't do no extra takes.
No gang shit.
Whole lot of gang shit. Action.
Welcome, family. This is
Hold on.
Welcome, family. This is Paradox-ish, the show all about our generation's social, cultural, and political topics, and all the other things we experience during these times. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Zoe, and we're recording from Hill's basement because it's hot as hell in here.
Let's see what we got going on. What's going on this week, bro?
Well, we got the question of the week. If you don't know by now, B. Simone, she caught a lot of controversy for saying she can't date a man who works a 9 to 5. She said he has to be an entrepreneur / hustler, and he can't clock in and clock out day to day because you don't understand her lifestyle. So the question was, could you date somebody who works a 9 to 5? Majority of the answers were yes, but what I see and where she's coming from is she's not saying that she doesn't want somebody to work 9 to 5. Like, she don't want somebody working minimum wage. A lot of people who have the entrepreneurial mindset usually do work 9 to 5, but they use it as an avenue in order to get what they need.
Right.
So that's why I feel like she took a lot of flack for it. But of course, her being, manifest queen, she got in trouble for some other shit. But that's not the case.
It's also her wording behind it too, though. Like, I think if she would have approached it differently, then I think it would have been received better. But just to say you wouldn't date somebody working a 9 to 5, like, you started as a 9 to 5 worker, you manifested what you wanted and grinded to get to where you are. Everybody might not be there yet, so you have to take them steps with people. And
to be honest, she, by her definition, she still is a 9 to 5 worker because she works for Nick Cannon and Wildin' Out.
True enough. That, and then she made comments, if you listen to the whole interview that she did with him, she makes comments where she's referencing she wants to be laid up in the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning checking emails together. No, at 3 o'clock in the morning, either I'm asleep or something else going down. But checking emails, not it.
I feel like it was more so a selfish comment. Yeah. Because she said, you won't understand my lifestyle. Like I said, people who are usually entrepreneurs, they start out in a 9 to 5 to use it as a platform to, catapult themselves. So yeah, you might work a 9 to 5, but when you come home from from 5 to 10, right, you might have graphic design work to do, or t-shirts to make up, or other things to do. You're using your 9 to 5 to catapult yourself. So if I can't get on a plane and go with you to such and such, just know that I'm working towards my goal also. And if you feel so strongly about, my 9 to 5, but I have this entrepreneurial mind state, put me on your team. If you feel like I can help you out.
But sometimes, for me, for instance, me working a 9 to 5 isn't necessarily, it's me learning at the same time, because with what I do, I need to see how it works, what doesn't work, what does work, see what the setup of it is, because the ultimate goal for me is to open up my own practice. So let me see how you set yours up, what I can take as far as what I like and how you set things up, what I don't like. And then because I'm in a role of working for you, I hear what other people are saying because I'm experiencing it with them. So I know what to take on that level too and apply it. So sometimes it's just a learning curve. You have mentors for a reason.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Being on that corporate side or whatever you want, you learn how to maneuver through that side. So when you do become an entrepreneur and you come into that section, it's not brand new. Like her with her book. Right. Apparently, she said she's never written a book before, but you had your team to put it together. Your team was picking little stuff off of Pinterest from different people and didn't bother to change it or nothing. Didn't send it into that program.
You didn't fact check it?
Didn't send it into that program we used to use in college.
The one to show you if you plagiarize.
Yeah, they ain't do none of that shit. So she, like she said, she took ownership. She said she was basically like, I'm the coach, I'm gonna take blame for it. But at the same time, you didn't do your research.
And I also feel like that's where if you had somebody that worked 9 to 5, like to me, my thing is the point of being in a relationship is to grow and build with each other. Exactly. Even though you have your own, even though like you could be doing your thing, I'm doing my own thing. At the end of the day, we're supposed to come together. Like it should never be a competition about stuff. Is okay, you leveled up. So in order to keep up, I know I need to push myself. It should be that type of balance. But by the logic that she's saying, where are you growing with this person at? Where are y'all building and creating at?
Nothing at all, because if by her, like you said, by her logic, she wants somebody that's already established. So if I come into this situation not needing you, why am I here?
Right, I can walk away at any point and not feel anything
and
about it.
And I'll be good. But, that's her.
Right. I mean, clearly she got some other things she got to get right with.
Like some legal fees.
That part. All right, so... you're a male, I'm a female, so let's talk about some stuff that, we tend to bump heads on.
Okay.
So, is it possible to strictly be friends with someone of the opposite sex once you have had a sexual encounter?
I say yes, but under 2 stipulations.
Okay.
1, the ground rule has to be set before anything happens.
Okay.
And there has to be no feelings attached.
All right, so I looked at it this way. You have to define what a sexual encounter is too, because some people will take kissing somebody as a sexual encounter. Somebody will take being laid up, cuddle up with somebody as being a sexual encounter. So you have to know, like, what is a sexual encounter?
I would take that more so as being intimate than a sexual encounter.
Well, you gotta be careful with intimacy too, because intimacy is just vulnerability.
I was just going based off the question. I get what you said. I was going based off the question. This is a sexual encounter.
But no, I don't think you can. Well, you can be strictly friends after the fact. I just think that it's always gonna be some lingering stuff, because for me, sex is something that's emotional. Mm-hmm. So when you have sex with somebody, you have an emotional tie to somebody in some type of way. It's hard to just strictly keep it at just sex.
And that's why that's the only reason why I said yes to these 2 things. So if you can't abide by these 2 rules, then don't even bother. Like, cause it's been plenty
of people get caught up though. It don't happen on purpose.
Cause of feelings. That's what I'm saying. That's number 2. No feelings can be attached.
You can't help a feeling.
That's why I said it can happen as long as these 2 rules are established. If after that, it's either y'all going to advance or the friendship is going to be depleted. So it's either you going to carry on the relationship, or is we going to leave it at where it was. Either we can still try to be cool, but it's going to be awkward when we see each other, especially if another person gets in a relationship. Now you feeling some type of way, and people
become petty real quick.
Yes, for no reason. Like, you knew what it was when it happened. Why are you changing now? I think when it comes to like situations like that, people like the idea behind it, but when it's time to carry it through, it's a whole different situation. It's a whole different storm. Like, as soon as it happens, it's more so like, well, why you didn't call me? Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? Like, we already established that, like, this was a one-time thing.
And that was my point. Like, it's one of those situations where it's real easy to set a ground rule, but feelings are something that develop over time. It's more so, if it's a ground rule, to me, it's more so like, all right, when we done, that's it. It ain't no cuddling. One of us got to get up and go.
Yeah, so you just got to be a warm body at that point.
Exactly. You better get a teddy bear, a blanket, a pillow, something. Something to keep you warm at night. Because I'm out of here. But when females do that, though, it's considered disrespectful. Like, if I just get up and go after the fact,
I mean,
dudes be
niggas do it to females all the time. Man. It's just, that's your Robitussin. You better take it.
Not your Robitussin.
Hey, look, I'm Aquarius. I'm cold-hearted. I don't even care. Like, that, it is what it is. Like, my thing is, if I fuck with you, you already know that I fuck with you. If I don't, you can tell. Like, my mood is either or. You'll never have to worry about me straddling the fence with you.
Most definitely.
So that's just me. I can't speak for anybody else.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I've definitely seen it at some points where, like, I've heard stories and I've experienced where, like, dude will really look at you crazy if you just get up and be like, all right, bye.
That's his fault, shit. I appreciate that shit. I gotta make my room up after that.
Not make my room up.
Yeah, you gotta make the bed. Like, especially if it's good, shit, you gotta make the room up after that.
That's how you start going crazy.
Yeah. Shout out Virginia State.
Behold, don't do it. Behold, don't do that. You know we love our HBCUs around here.
Yeah. Support black colleges.
You know it. All right, so on to some front page news that's been going on. Let's talk about these statues that's been happening. You know, we dealing with 2. Well, technically 3. We're dealing with 3 in our area because we got the one in Richmond, the one in Norfolk just came down, and then we have the one in downtown Portsmouth who it's a lot of controversy. Actually, the one in Richmond has a lot of controversy going around it too.
Yeah, they just extended the terms. They made it indefinitely now. So
Again?
Yeah. They're gonna have another hearing. I think they said July 23rd because at first it was just
it was the 10-day injunction.
Mm-hmm. But they made it indefinitely so that the 6 people who came up with some type of case, they're giving them more time to build another case.
I don't think that's right. I'm just saying, like, the case they're building, the whole purpose of it was they built their case with the premise of it's this one line in the deed where the monument is, and it says that with them getting this monument, they have to, like, uphold and protect the monument. It's not worded that way, but that's essentially what it says, is they have to protect the monument, and by them taking it down, even though they're just moving it, they're saying that them taking it down isn't them abiding by what's in the deed. Mind you, this deed is from, like,
I think they said it was like 130 years or something.
Right.
Like that.
Ain't nobody here to speak on the validity of that statement. But, I mean, I feel like, you know, when it comes to those Confederate statues, like, you know, you had to educate me on it because my first thought was we're trying to take a piece of history, once again, that we don't like.
You lost.
I did, because you definitely got me together. But, you know, my thing was, what were we doing that was different from how white people try to erase our history? Just because you don't like a piece of history doesn't mean you can just erase it and pretend like it didn't happen. But then you put me on game about the significance of the placement of these monuments.
And that's what we're going into the one in Portsmouth. Because what happened in that?
That one was the whipping post, wasn't it?
Yeah. So in Portsmouth, right here at home, we have a Confederate statue in downtown Portsmouth that's near the old courthouse. Was it NSU historian Dr. Cassandra Newby Alexander? She said that the monuments were purposefully placed next to the historic courthouse as a place where slaves were sold, finalized, sellings, whipped, and punished if they tried to escape or run towards freedom.
All right, and I know the one that they just dismantled in Norfolk, that was kind of the same situation where it was used more as abuse. So that's why I said I had to change my tune a little bit, because now it's kind of like adding insult to injury. Like, your whole entire purpose was to hold us down, and now on top of that, you're going to keep rubbing it in like, we're going to place this here. But the positive part is in Portsmouth on July 28th, they are holding the court date to remove that one, and there is so much controversy. There's so much controversy behind the one in Portsmouth that there has actually been like city council statements or new laws put in as far as how the city council members move, because somebody was coming out and speaking on it outside of the meetings, and it was blowing up bigger. So then they had to put things in place that said you could not talk about what was being talked about in closed chambers to the public.
Another good thing about July 28th, the remainder of the statue in Norfolk is coming down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they just took off, was it Johnny Reb? But now they're going to take down the rest of it, so it's going to be just basically an empty spot there, which is progress.
It is. You know, the mayor of Norfolk kind of acted quickly, and he didn't really pay attention to what anybody really had to say. He said, nah, this is a stain on my city's history, so let's get it up out of there. And he didn't care where you moved it to. He didn't care what happened to it. He get out of there. Yeah. Richmond is fighting hard for theirs.
And I appreciate that so much.
They just did a protest yesterday as a part of the Juneteenth celebration that they had over the weekend.
Yeah, one that Trey Songz' thing.
That was definitely Trey Songz' thing. He did a whole Feed the Community event. He had a Father's Day bike ride today. He did a lot this weekend in Petersburg and in Richmond. So shout out.
Shout out to Trey, VA's on.
Yes, Lord. All right, go ahead, bro.
All right, so on to the next topic. Mikey Williams. Right now, he is a top prospect in basketball right now. He's a sophomore in high school out in California. And Mikey tweeted out lately that he's been thinking about going to a HBCU. Let's see, Carmelo made a statement on it saying that all it takes is one person to change history. I think it's a better chance of this next generation to go to a HBCU and be accepted and bring something different to HBCU. But basically, he was saying that it wouldn't be starstruck. These new generations won't be starstruck by the blue collar names and stuff like that because the NCAA already got problems now with the one and done rule. Mm-hmm. So Mikey basically was saying, like, if I go to an HBCU, why not, let my people get paid instead of, some people like North Carolina or Duke or Kansas, Michigan State, places like that.
I'm all for it. Definitely when it comes to student athletes, because that's where your funding comes from, because it's what's drawing, your athletic department is what's drawing those donors in. First it does fall on some of the alumni, because the alumni has to make it glamorized for them to come. But when you have a lot of alumni we joke a lot about the problems that we have at HBCUs, and some of the problems we have at HBCUs are had no matter what college you go to, whether it's community college, PWI, HBCU, doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna have certain problems. But I think a big thing is us as a culture, we have to change that narrative of an HBCU, and we have to make it appeasing to these athletes to come. Like, we got to show them something that they want.
I don't disagree with you, but I feel like that the stain of let's go to this big D1 school so I can get my name out, so I can get on the draft board and go high. It's the stain of, like, that's why a lot of athletes don't go to HBCUs to play sports, because they feel like I'm not going to be seen. Like, my game's on national TV and all that other stuff.
But what's crazy about that is I don't think people realize how many people have gotten, first of all, how many HBCUs are actually in the D1 league. It's just they're not in necessarily the bigger conferences. And I don't think they realize how many athletes are actually coming out of these HBCUs. It's not as big as you would want to see. It's not like top prospects out of high school. But like NSU has given you, NSU, HU, A&T, they've given you professional athletes that have performed.
See, and like I said, I don't disagree with you, but the names of the blue bloods, like I said, like UNC, Duke, and like that, they're going to give you...
People want to play for Coach K.
Not even that. It gives you national recognition, and you get national games, which means you're seen more, which means your opportunity to become a number one draft pick is higher, which means you're going to earn more money.
Right, and this is where I go back to Melo's statement too, where he said all it takes is one, because it just takes for one that's a top recruit to go to this HBCU. Then that's when it falls on the alumni to then step in, because you need that attendance at the games. You need to make it. You got to give them more so that they can see. You have to give, because it's going to be, you got to have this show out and turn out for the game. Mm-hmm. That's going to get you to the TV game, to your TV games. It's like a progression. It's like a chain reaction of things that have to happen simultaneously for it to work, because you have to have that recognition. So then you can move conferences, because that's the problem. HBCUs aren't getting the airtime, but it's because we don't have the attendance that's needed at some of these games sometimes to even be able to change.
And also, the facilities don't hold a lot of people like these other universities do. But I think along with the Mikey situation, I feel like HBCUs need a Fab Five situation also.
They do.
Where 5 of the top ranked recruits go to a school and basically just turn it out, like blow up the Blue Bloods, blow up the mid-majors, whoever comes across them, and actually make a deep run whenever the NCAA starts back up again.
They do, and I think that it'll also look different. So I think this conversation will look different too, with some of the regulations that the NCAA are about to put into place, as far as like athletes getting paid, because that's a big part of that. Like, some HBCUs just don't have the funding, whether they're D1 or not, to hand you out a scholarship where we're paying for school and housing, and you don't have to worry about much. Like, most HBCUs just don't have it.
But with all that being said, I did make a top 3 that I see Mikey would be a fit at.
Okay.
So for my number 1, Texas Southern.
Yeah, shout out to TSU.
The reason I said Texas Southern, because they do have the exposure games. They're in a competitive region. You know, you got UT Austin down there. You got Texas Tech. You got Texas A&M, OSU, OU, anybody, basically Big 12 in that region.
They meet in Big 12, yeah.
Location, they're in Houston, which means you can go against the Cougars, the University of Houston Cougars. If the games is big enough, they can play in the Toyota Center. The next thing is the SWAC dominance. They've basically ran the SWAC conference from 2014.
To now?
Yeah, well, they didn't get 2019. Prairie View got it, but they like edged them out. And their home arena holds 8,100.
Compared to most HBCUs, that is.
Who holds like 3,000.
Right. Yeah.
And so since 2009, Texas Southern has had a conference winning percentage lower than hasn't had a lower percentage than 61, a winning percentage lower than 61. So which means they win majority of the games. 8 NCAA appearances, 90, 94, 95, 03, 14, 15, 17, and 18.
Nice.
And they have 8 SWAC championships. And my number two goes to North Carolina Central. North Carolina Central is also in a competitive region. Like I said, UNC, Duke, Wake Forest.
Right.
All
They're
those
surrounded
guys,
by
Tobacco Road,
Yeah.
NC State, all of them. And they had a recent dominance in the MEAC. 4 NCAA appearances, 14, 17, 18, and 19. Unfortunately, they haven't won any games in the NCAA tournament. And they have the same amount of MEAC championships. And number 3, I think you'll be happy with this.
Behold.
NSU. Nova State has a winning consistency. They had 21 straight seasons for wins.
Nice.
Now, apparently, they only had 1 NCAA appearance, which was in 2012. And
whoa, hold on.
Yeah. That was the only one. I did my research. The only one. Was it Cal O'Quinn? That was
2012?
That was 2012.
Jeez.
Yes. I think when they beat Missouri.
Yeah,
they beat
Missouri. And then we got kicked out the second round. But it's all good, though, because who expected us to get there?
And I do have an honorable mention.
Who was this honorable mention?
HU, Hampton. Now, this is the reason why Hampton moved to a different conference. They moved to the Big South.
And it's a lot more competitive.
That and their arena, I think they said holds 7,200.
Yeah.
And Legacy, his mom went to Hampton.
That's very true, because I think that was what he said. He was quoted. Now he was like, his mom went to a HBCU and talked about, the pride and stuff that she felt there. So I could see the connection to that.
Right. So, Hampton, they had 6 NCAA appearances: 01, 02, 06, 11, 15, and 16. And they hold a record of 2-6.
What? Hey, they making it. All these colleges, and how many make it to the NCAA?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, he go there, make a difference. There's going to be a lot of attention. I feel like the attention of the Hampton Roads area will become as big as when Allen Iverson was playing ball.
It does. It definitely has the potential to. And I definitely think that, just in general, when it comes to athletes, like when you look at these rosters of who's on the list of graduating for recruits, and you look and you see how many look like us. Mm-hmm. And then you look and you compare that, and you be like, this is a problem when you look at the representation across the board. Like, that's why they're giving you the money, because they know they need you out there.
And another thing that hurts us is, I think HBCUs just got sponsored by Nike, right? If I'm not mistaken, because
I can't quote.
At first they were with Russell.
Yeah.
But now that they have Nike, they have the right equipment to give to these players and stuff. So I feel like that'll be another recruiting plus.
I think too, another thing to look at is like you gotta look at these locker rooms too. That when they taking them on these tours, what does it look like? That's what draws a lot of athletes in. Like like you said, the facility. What does it look like? What does this equipment look like? We gotta bring some of these up to date, which then goes back to we gotta get that funding at the schools.
Yeah. So Mikey, do that. We
Please.
need you. Set it off.
Exactly. Now, what I love going to black-owned businesses and supporting our own and shouting out our people. So I got a couple places that I need people to check out. So the first one is Norfolk Smoothie. It is on Granby Street. Its actual location is 112 Granby Street, Suite 100 in Norfolk, Virginia.
Let the people know.
Got to. It does have an Instagram page at Norfolk Smoothie. Their website is norfolksmoothie.com, and they are open Tuesdays through Sundays, 11:30 to 8. The second business that I definitely have to shout out because they're just amazing. They did an amazing Juneteenth shirt for me this past weekend. It was awesome. It was everything I needed. It's ANC Screen Printing. They can get you anything you need when it comes to that screen print game. Them t-shirts be everything. Their Facebook is ANC Printing. The Instagram is at ACSPVA_. Once again, because I almost got tripped up reading it. It is at ACSPVA_. And the Instagram gives you the email to check it out. But the email, just in case you need it, is acscreenprintingva@gmail.com. Once again, it is acscreenprintingva@gmail.com.
Can't wait to work with them folk.
So look, I'm telling you, they'll get you right. The creativity is everything. I just told them an idea. I can't come up with complete concepts of ideas. So I just kind of gave a general, this is what I want. And then, an hour later, I got a picture and I was like, that's it. You nailed it.
Yeah, I want a unicorn riding the Sphinx.
Not a unicorn. The what? What does that even look like?
I don't know. We got to ask them.
I could probably get that though while you playing. I don't know what that looks like, but hey. Something that we both love is up next. Like really.
Yes.
Like we both love music. And yes. I'm excited because this week we spotlighting artists. And I love mine.
You want to go first?
Of course.
All right, go ahead.
So I'm spotlighting Division. They are an amazing duo. They're from Canada, and they're actually signed to OVO. So Drake, you can do a little bit better promotion with them though, because not a lot of people know.
Hey, better than Party Next Door.
Touche. They're comprised of a singer. His name is Daniel Dakley, and a producer who is 1985. That's his producer name. But they put out 3. I don't know if they call them EPs or albums.
They probably EPs. I don't remember them having out any albums.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the EP.
How long was the track list?
No more than like 8.
Yeah, that's an EP.
Okay. The first one they put out was called September 5. My favorite song on that is Too Deep. Like, it just, listen to it with your significant other. I promise you'll be amazed.
Ooh, you was a freak.
Not I'm a freak.
You was a freak.
Oh. Not I'm a freak. No. The second one is called Morning After. POV. Don't look at me like that. That is the title of the album, The Morning After. And every track up there is reminiscent of The Morning After. But my favorite track is actually they use the Fortunate sample by Maxwell.
Oh, that POV.
And that POV.
Yeah, that shit go hard.
Don't it though?
Yeah, you sent that to me. I was just like, oh yeah, let me add that to my playlist. Hold on.
I be funny about samples because people sample stuff and they don't do it no justice.
But they chopped and screwed Maxwell,
and it flowed.
That's why I was saying that shit go hard.
Man, and then their last one that they just recently put out has literally been out for maybe like a month. It's called "Amusing Her Feelings," and my favorite track is called "Between Us," and it actually features Snow Allegra, and it sampled Usher's "Nice and Slow."
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You need to, cause that is just, man, look.
Shit, you put me on.
I'm telling you, if you don't know, you gotta find out.
So I ain't really big on R&B.
And that's my life.
But the person that I'm spotlighting is Mr. Justin Scott, also known as King Remembered in Time, also known as Mr. Sun Multi Till the Sun Die, Your Player Partner, Country Cousin, Meridian, Mississippi own Big Crit. That's who I'm on.
Well, what that crit stand for?
Can't remember the time. You ain't hear me say that shit. Open up your ears. But when I got put on the crit, I remember the date exactly. It was September 17th, 2010.
We had just graduated. You just got to state.
My first semester at Virginia State. So me and my boys, we went up to Richmond because it was Wiz's concert. It was the Wake and Bake tour, and Crit was the opening act for him. Like literally, I never heard somebody so country and so lyrical since Andre 3000.
Word?
Yes.
Let me tell you what makes me mad about this, though. Crit was supposed to be at the Nova before Rona decided to come and show her ass.
Yes, and I'm hurt about that. Because I literally tried to go to every other concert since then, but something always fucking came up.
Well, Rona has now showed her ass, so thank you, Rona.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Crit, he appeared on the 2011 XXL freshman class.
I remember that cover.
Yeah, it had Fred the Godson, YG, Diggy Simmons, Kendrick Lamar, and Mac Miller. Rest in peace. So
R.I.P.
that class was deep.
It was.
But my starter pack for Crit, literally, just listen to Crit was here. That was the first thing that put me on. Listen to that. His first album, Live from the Underground. Fire.
I think when you came back home from school, I think that was one of the artists you put me on to that you had gave me that flash drive with.
Yes, I put you on to him.
All right now.
And the Sir Future Hendrix.
Oh my gosh, you actually put me on the Mac Miller too.
Church of Free Bands.
We are not doing this.
Percocet 316.
I'm so ashamed.
But back to this. Live from the Underground, the 3 songs that I suggest somebody listen to is Money on the Flow, Porch Lights, or If I Fall, and Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then you gotta pull up Cadillactica, Soul Food, Mind Control, Saturdays Equal Celebration. Then you also got Forever's a Mighty Long Time. I'm putting you onto this most recent stuff.
All right.
Cause you gotta do your research on other stuff. I can't give you everything.
You don't got enough
I can't
time.
give you game. You know what I mean?
You can't give them game.
I can't give you that much game. You gotta do your own research. Lead a horse to water, but they gotta drink on their own.
And it's sad because Crit really goes up there with the J. Cole's and the Kendricks. Like that's his mindset and his process and just the way he flows it out. Like he really deserves to be in that conversation.
That's why I feel. That's why it hurts me so much because he's still considered underrated, but this man been putting out solid shit for 10 years.
Solid bodies of work.
Solid.
Saying stuff.
Matter of fact, 11. It's a song that I'm gonna put y'all on to. It's called Some Days.
Did you send that to me?
No, I didn't.
Thanks.
But hey, Some Days. It was one line up there, man.
You gonna tell
Some
us?
days I'm a healer, some days I'm a killer. White woman lock a car doors when I walk by. Damn, some days I'm a nigga. That shit hit, boy. But back to this Forever is a Mighty Long Time. Big Bank, 1999 with Lloyd and Mixed Messages. And then you got Crit is Here, which is his latest album that he released. Addiction.
That's my track.
Every Time.
That one too.
And Learn from Texas.
What's that? It's another one up there. I can't remember the name of it now. Now I'm mad. I think it's like track like 10, I think, something like that.
I go. Matter of fact, I put it up for you right now.
We can't.
Why not? I got it right here.
Oh, you gonna show me the track list?
I'm not gonna show the track list.
Show me the track list, cause I can tell you from based off the track list.
All right, we gonna get back to that later because we record right now. So.
We clearly are.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get back to that. But remember, track 10.
Yep.
All right, so now we gonna move on to the top 5 segment, and this for our first show we decided to go top 5 cartoons
from the 90s. You got to put that part in. It had to start in the 90s.
All right, so top 5 cartoons that started in the 90s, and I'm gonna let you go first.
Why I gotta go first?
Because I'm being a gentleman.
I done went first almost every other time, bro.
All right.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna start backwards. So for my number 5, I got X-Men.
Yo, I really struggle with that one.
My number 4 is Animaniacs. My 3, childish as hell, but SpongeBob.
Yeah.
2 is the Rugrats. And guess what my number 1 is?
I don't even know.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, can I just tell you that my list looks nothing like yours?
I bet it don't.
Do you have an honorable mention? Because I have an honorable mention.
I don't have no honorable mention. My 5 solid.
My 5 is solid to me
Nah,
too.
You got an honorable mention. That 5 ain't solid.
My 5 is solid, but this the last one is my honorable mention. Is like it had to be there.
Eddie though. I'm sorry. Eddie.
Number 1. That's the number 1.
Alright, so I guess I'll start from the bottom too, since you decided to start from the bottom. So my number 5 is Rocket Power, dog. Like I love me some Rocket Power.
Good for Reggie.
No, you know I related most to Twister.
Yeah, you retarded.
Ooh, that was saucy. My number 4 is Hey Arnold. You know I still watch Hey Arnold this day.
I still want that bedroom.
Yo, his setup was everything.
My man had the
Dog, how you in love with somebody
couch.
you still ain't get her?
Man, look at the stars. What?
Every character on Hey Arnold is relatable. Everyone.
Who would you relate to?
Who would I relate to? I don't even know. I'm like a combination of characters at this point.
I'm gonna be obvious. Gerald.
Is it because I'm black?
Why you being racist?
That's all you, bro. My number 3, Pepper Ann. Saturday mornings got me right with Pepper Ann, bro.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
How you forget about Peppy?
About it. I got a question after this. After you finish your top 5.
Oh Lord.
I got a question.
Don't forget, because you know if it was me, I'd forget.
It's up here. I got it. I was ready
Okay.
to go.
My number 2, Gargoyles.
Okay. That's solid.
You got to, dog. Yeah. Gargoyles was a whole history lesson. My number 1, Recess. I needed it.
You are trash.
How am I trash? I needed recess.
You lived recess.
My point. It was relatable.
In elementary school.
And it kept my attention. So my honorable mention. And this shit's still legend to this day. Right, still making new episodes and everything.
I want to hear this.
Arthur, my nigga. That is my honorable mention. Arthur's still busting down new episodes. And what? Call me childish and whatever else. You lucky it won't PB&J Otter.
I just want to know, you talking about anteater.
Aardvark.
Okay, you talking about an aardvark who couldn't put his glasses on his ears.
And he still was the shit.
This nigga listened to music down here, bro. Like, his ears was up here and listened to music.
Okay, you gonna let him be great?
Man.
You gonna let him be great? Don't do my nigga Arthur like that, bro.
The only thing I can say about Arthur is his friendship with Buster.
Been through some things.
Was dope as fuck. Like, I want to wear my homeboy slipper. Like, not like that. I want to wear my homeboy slipper with his face on it. He wear with mine like that. That shit was dope as fuck.
First of all, I'm your little sister, so was I not like DW, bro?
Yeah, you worse as fuck.
Hey, hold on.
And you can't read.
Oh, no, I can't read.
I'm playing.
Oh, you tried it. I'm very disturbed by that. I don't like how you try to play me like that. I really don't. I feel some type of way. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so with us making this top 5, I have to ask, what type of kid were you? Were you a Cartoon Network kid, Nickelodeon kid, Disney kid, or WB kid / Fox kid, or PBS?
All right, so I was a little nerd, y'all. So I was truly a PBS kid. But
hey, yo, that's just what cyber chasing.
I sure did, and Zoom to
come on, Zoom.
Come on, know it. Ow! I knew all the dances and everything. Don't do me.
Watch it, Zoom Food.
Sure did watch the Boomer Food before it became Wild Kratts. You better know. You better know.
Dragon Tales here. I'm playing.
Dog. Hey, well, I'm not gonna be that kid. Yes, I watched Barney. Yes, I watched Dragon Tales.
I'm sitting here reeling these shits off like I ain't watching.
Hello, because you had to watch it and nobody.
Hell yeah, you couldn't have cable to watch this shit.
Okay.
Like channel 15 faithfully. Click.
Daggone right. But all just aside, I was definitely WB, Fox, all those. I watched, you know, I'm like a little tomboy,
so you was more
I was watching all the superhero shows and
more so like the Saturday morning type kid.
Yeah. What about you over there?
I was mainly a Cartoon Network, the old Cartoon Network.
But you know that you also got kind of borderline in trouble for them Cartoon Network cartoons because they, they was.
That's why I'm the way that I am now.
Explain so much.
Fucking cow and chicken. What?
Cow. Johnny Bravo?
Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory.
Yo, Dex.
And what? Hey, Dexter from Baltimore. I figured that shit out.
Oh no, we not. Don't you do it. We not gonna disrespect these people.
No. Avenue.
We didn't disrespect these people.
Did you get out my laboratory?
Oh man.
Get out and chew.
I don't like the fact that like
Bro,
your cartoons be like the ones with the annoying little sister. You trying to tell me something?
Artist reality.
I don't like your attitude right now.
You don't like my attitude?
Man, stop it. Stop it. You get on my nerves so much.
Alright, let's go to this next segment.
Alright, yeah, because I'm going to throw something at you in a minute. And I ain't even got nothing to throw. But let's tell the people about some things that have happened with our people.
Okay.
In our history. So let's talk about our most recent, which was Juneteenth.
Yeah,
let's talk about June 19th. Yes. Finally, even though we still ain't really free, we kind of sort of free. We freer. We're freer.
We free-ish.
Hey, I like it. Hey. But Juneteenth was made to commemorate the last group of slaves finding out that they were free in Galveston, Texas. So let's find out some stuff. So it is the ending of slavery in the United States. It dates back to 1865. And it was when the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston, Texas, came to share the news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. Mind you, freedom really came in 1863 with the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation.
So they say.
So they say. Y'all know that document won't really sign for us, right? Mm-mm. At all. But that Juneteenth came 2.5 years after Lincoln signed that document. The official signing was on January 1st, 1863, and it had little impact on the Texans due to the minimal number of Union troops to enforce the new executive order. However, with the surrender of General Lee in April of 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. The celebration of June 19th was coined Juneteenth and grew with more participation from descendants. The Juneteenth celebration was a time for reassuring each other, for praying, and for gathering remaining family members. Juneteenth continued to be highly revered in Texas decades later, with many former slaves and descendants making an annual pilgrimage, aka a cookout, back to Galveston on this date. A range of activities were provided to entertain the masses. Once again, y'all, we had a cookout. But they did it with rodeos, fishing, barbecue, and baseball, and just a few other activities. Juneteenth almost always focused on education and self-improvement. So, uplifting each other. It included guest speakers, and it was more than likely the elders that came before just to recount the events of the past to see how far we've come. Prayer services were held as a major part of these celebrations. And as of recently, several states have made it a paid state holiday. Those states are to include Texas, Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania. And there are a few states that have put it on the bill to be recognized as a paid state holiday for 2021. I'm just ready to get out of 2020 at this point. There's also legislature that is trying to push it through for it to be recognized as a federal holiday, so that even though it's a state holiday, we already know it holds more weight on the federal level. And with more updates, we will keep you posted on it.
All right, now we head into one of my favorite segments, what to stream. So, during this time, I'm going to talk about different things, whether it's on Netflix, Hulu, other podcasts, things of that sort. So I have 3 things that should be watched soon. Recently, The Five Bloods, made by Spike Lee. It's about Vietnam vets, black Vietnam vets who are known as Bloods, who basically were sent on the front lines to, protect this country's rights. But when they got home, they wasn't treated the same. For those who don't know, the Vietnam War lasted from November 1st, 1955 to April 30th, 1975.
My granddad fought in that, so
that's 20 years that we were sent over there and come back to bullshit.
Is it any better?
No. But after watching this movie, I found out that there was a book that Spike Lee read in order to get more information off of it in order to direct this movie. It's called Bloods, an oral history of Vietnam War by black veterans, and it's written by Wallace Terry. I actually have it in my cart on Amazon, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and order that so I can read it. The next stream that I would suggest is LA 92. LA 92 is by Nat Geo. It's about the LA riots prior to the Rodney King verdict of the police brutality. Same shit that's going on today. But the weird thing about this film, it eerily matches up to the 65 Watts riot.
Yes.
So it's a black man driving, allegedly commits a driving violation. Police uses excessive force. We uprise as a people and start to rebel.
So can I say something about that one?
Go ahead.
Because I watched that one too, and one was very, very abundantly clear is history does repeat itself. And with everything going on right now, we're actually right on time for it to have happened again. You take, 1865, you take 1992 when the initial incident with Rodney King happened, and now here we are in 2020, and essentially we're dealing with the same thing. And the only thing that I pray comes out of this, definitely when we have the documentation for it. We have documentaries like LA 92. Mm-hmm. I just pray that we, as a people, go through and really see what's happened before us so that we can take what we've seen has worked and revamp it. Because some stuff does need to be revamped. And then we can take what we've seen hasn't worked and we can either revisit it because that was a different time. We're in a whole nother place with a whole different type of people. Our generation is TTG.
Yeah, because we definitely need to take the wheel that's already been invented and do innovations with it. Don't reinvent it. Just make it better.
Right, because all that's going to happen is we're going to look up in history as truly going to repeat itself, and we're going to be waiting another 20, 30 years to have that happen again.
It's
we don't need
that cycle,
and we don't need no more of our brothers and sisters, kids losing their lives unnecessarily. It's got to stop at this point, and we have the blueprint. We do. We just got to take it and see what to do. And it takes people that are angry, because you need that so that you can get that attention for your voice to be heard. But then you need those people that can explain why we're angry, because to most people, the reason we get the angry black people narrative is because nobody's ever sat down and said, yeah, I'm angry, but the reason I'm angry is because I'm also confused why you're doing this to me. I'm hurt because I have to explain to my young black son that is a child how to be in a situation with the police. It's all these different. I'm sick. I'm tired of having to do these things. I'm scared that anytime I see a police officer, I have to judge whether or not this is gonna be the last time I see my family. It's more than just anger. So we have to have those people out there that can explain, like, yo, I'm angry. This is true. Let me show you I'm angry. But then you have to have those people that can then turn around and say, now let me break down to you why I'm angry.
Yeah, say put it in a very articulate form, so that way everybody can understand. And also, I have to put this out here. I'm tired of the other side, the white people asking me, teach me. At this point,
it's too much information out there for me to have to teach you.
It's not even that. It's not my responsibility.
That part, because it's not your responsibility to explain to my black son and my black daughter how to maintain themselves. You're not coming and teaching me what to do on my end. So why do I have to teach you what to do on yours?
But what I'm saying is, you asking me what should you do? Go do the research, because it's only so much that I can say. It's only so much that I can do. Like, yes, I'm good with you saying, hey, I'm not knowledgeable on the subject. You know, can you help me? Mm-hmm. But every time something happens, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Speak up. We can't be the only ones to say stuff. You have to say something.
Because it's not just us problem.
Not even for us, but you have to speak to your people on your behalf, saying, just be a good fucking human.
Right. And that's the other part too. And then at the same time, some of the stuff, and I've said this and people have taken it different types of ways, but even within us, I feel like some people also don't feel like they have to do it because they wait for us to handle our own demise. Mm-hmm. Like, and what I mean by that is we create so many divides within ourselves that they don't have to do anything to us. We do it to ourselves. So then it's like, well, if they can't get it together, then why should we even try?
Yeah, like.
But what they don't realize is the divides we created aren't necessarily divides that we've created. No, like that light skin, dark skin debate didn't start with us.
That's what I was about to say. Colorism. Yo, we gotta stop that light skin, dark skin shit.
We do. I actually got into it with somebody because they told me, how can I understand because I'm light skinned? And I'm very well at understanding that, you know, certain privileges do come to me because of lighter skin. That's never one time what I've said. But to tell me that I don't understand, I had my first dose of racism at 7 years old. Remember it vividly. Mm-hmm. Vividly what happened. I've dealt with it plenty of times. I've had encounters with the police. When I walk out my door, I have melanin in my skin, whether it's a lot or a little bit. So they don't care about how much melanin I have. The fact that I have it makes me a target.
And it was an analogy that I saw that, yeah, we on the same team, but with this colorism stuff, we kicking the ball in our own goal. Like,
that is a perfect analogy.
Who are we we're not beating anybody but ourselves. Like, and it just fucking like drives me crazy. Like the whole house nigga and field nigga, like. And
people need to do research on that too, because what they say that because there have been so many jokes made about it.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand is being in the house. I promise you, it was not all peaches and roses.
The only reason I'm light is because my great grandmother got raped by the master.
But what they don't realize is, on top of that, not was I a product of incest. Mm-hmm. I'm now in a house with the person that raped my mama and his wife, who knows that the only reason I'm here is because he raped my mama, so she gonna beat me, but I'm gonna take care of my siblings too,
and her kids.
But that's what I'm saying, those my siblings. So you gonna force me to take care of my siblings as you beat me, and this man don't know what to do, and he might rape me being his daughter. Like that's great.
Yeah, I would say that whole shit it just bothers me. Sorry to go on that tangent, but
we apologize.
The last thing that I want to discuss is Dave Chappelle's special that he put out, the 846. 846 is pretty much a special. I wouldn't even call it a comedy special. It's more so an open discussion with the people that are there. It's basically him venting.
I heard pieces of it.
That's how I feel about it. It's him venting about the problems going on with George Floyd's recent murder and how his life paralleled to events in 2020, like how 840 was the time that he was born,
right? And
that Kobe's jersey numbers is his birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to watch that whole thing. Yeah. I've only watched pieces of it, so
go back and watch it. And he said the night that he was supposed to, I think he said, host the Grammys, or he won a Grammy, was the night that Kobe died. So he couldn't go because it hurt him so much because of the whole. I forgot the lady name, but when she told LeBron to shut up and dribble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he basically was just saying that Kobe, his last night playing was basically like freedom. It felt good, because with all the bullshit going on, just seeing him do that and, overcome everything and all that, it felt good to him, because it was already too much shit going on.
It was, and I definitely need to go back and watch it to see everything. I had heard some of the, I watched some of it and heard some of it as well, but I hadn't heard all of it. But I think people forget that that's what comedy was originally for. Definitely when it comes to black comedians, it was to literally pinpoint the pains that we've experienced, and you gotta laugh to keep from crying. And
that's why I'm here. Like literally, whenever I'm in the room, if everybody's smiling and laughing, no matter what you got going on that day, if I can just make you smile and laugh for 5 seconds, I feel like I've done something good for all of us.
You have, because that's all it takes sometimes. Just to be there to smile and sometimes be there to listen. That's my thing. I'm always there to listen and process with people. That's just the nurturer in me. But I'm definitely going to check out the rest of 846, and I definitely need to watch the Five Bloods as well. That's definitely a thing. So let's end on some positivity.
All right.
So I have a quote. It's from the late, great Michael Jackson. Rest in peace, my guy. A great one. It says, "In a world full of hate, we must still dare to hope. In a world filled with anger, we must still dare to comfort. In a world filled with despair, we must still dare to dream. And in a world filled with distrust, we must still believe."
And on that note, we out.
See you next time.
Peace.